Hi guys, it's Stewart. I want to thank Romeo and the Saturday Night Online crew for having me today. Yeah, let's get started with some questions. So, Julia from Brazil asks, what are your favorite desserts to eat? Well, I'm not really a dessert person, but when I do eat dessert, it's probably ice cream. But my favorite thing ever is Pop-Tarts, so I guess you can call that dessert. But I eat those all the time. The strawberry ones, so good. Um, Odie from Worcester says, tell us the story behind In Love with a Boy. Well, I wrote In Love with a Boy actually when I was in middle school. I was in 7th grade. There was a boy in my class I really liked, so I decided I was going to write this song about him. And we had this huge math final coming up, and I knew I was going to fail, so I decided to flip over my paper and write In Love with a Boy on the back. And I ended up going home and recording it and eventually putting it on SoundCloud, and that's kind of how everything got started for me. So, yeah, In Love with a Boy was kind of like the start to my career. What is my favorite song of all time? That's so hard because my favorite song changes every single day. But, that's a really hard one. I mean, right now, my favorite song of all time is, let me think. I think definitely some, like, old soul songs. I'm, like, checking my Spotify account right now. What's my most played song recently? Probably, like, A Change Is Gonna Come by Sam Cooke. Only because I feel like that song I've, like, loved my whole life. I mean, that's definitely my favorite song of all time, but, like, my favorite song changes every day. Like, new pop music, new music I discovered online. I mean, it changes all the time, but that's definitely, like, one of my favorite songs. Andrew from New York City says, what's your favorite food? Probably sushi. I love sushi. I mean, it depends, though, because I don't just really eat, like, sushi anywhere. I have a couple places I really like to go, but it's definitely sushi. Let's see. Carla from Irving. Where do you hope your career is in 5 years? 5 years from now, I mean, my favorite thing to do in the whole world is songwrite, and I wrote all the songs in my album, so, I mean, I definitely want to continue songwriting, and I think wherever that takes me is probably where I'm supposed to be. But I mean, of course, I love playing to big audiences and I love meeting lots of fans, so I definitely want to expand my fan base and expand my crowd. But yeah, definitely. I mean, I have no idea where my career is going to be in 5 years. I mean, I'm going to be writing so many different songs, but hopefully I get to meet a lot more fans and play a lot bigger places. So, Abby from Fremont says, where were you the first time you heard your song on the radio? This is actually a really funny story. There's a video on my Instagram of me, like, continuously screaming for, like, the whole video when my song came on the radio. But I was in the car with my dad and Allison, who, like, comes with me on the road and, like, works with my management. And we were in the car and we had Kiss FM on. And I think they already knew my song was going to be on the radio, but I didn't. So they turned it up really loud when that Charlie Puth and, like, Wiz Khalifa song was playing, and I was like, why do they like this song so much? This is so weird. But yeah, they kept turning it up, like, super loud, and they were like, oh, I love this song, we gotta turn it up. And I was like, guys, we should really, like, we can change the channel to something else. And they were like, no. So I was like, okay, like, so I kind of had a sense, like, there was something weird going on. But then the song started playing, and I was freaking out, and then they called me, the radio station, Kiss FM. It played on Kiss FM. And I ended up going to the radio station and doing an interview, and it was, like, the craziest night of my life because it was, like, 10 o'clock, and I was, like, gonna go home, and I looked like a crazy person, and it was crazy. It was a lot of fun, though. I was, like, so excited. Mike from Baton Rouge says, what do you prefer, Twitter, Instagram, or Snapchat? It's always between Instagram and Snapchat for me because I love, like, taking videos and, like, posting pictures. But Twitter is so hard for me. Like, everyone follows me. Like, all my fans are following me on Twitter and, like, messaging me on Twitter. But I definitely, like, I don't use Twitter, like, at all. And I only, like, retweet a couple things. That's why, like, my followers on Twitter are, like, completely different because I never really post. But definitely Instagram. So if, like, anybody ever wants to, like, contact me or, like, follow what I'm doing, it's definitely, like, Snapchat or Instagram. Emily from Valley Village, California. What's your favorite movie? Definitely, I mean, I have a couple. I think Almost Famous is one of my favorite movies. I've seen that probably 100 times. Beetlejuice, and I'm trying to think. I have so many favorite movies. I love movies. Right now, it's Almost Famous and Beetlejuice are probably my two favorite movies. Maria from Winston-Salem. What went through your head when you found out you were being signed to a major label? I actually cried when I found out that Warner wanted to sign me. Well, when I put my song up on SoundCloud, I put In Love with a Boy and Jonah up on SoundCloud. And that's kind of when I started getting in contact with labels and people started contacting me. And I remember, like, I was sitting in a home and, like, I was talking to my dad and he was like, we've been talking to lots of different labels and, like, we think the best decision for you is to sign with Warner. And I remember being so excited but so freaked out at the same time that I just burst into tears and I was like, oh my God, like, this is so amazing. But I'm also like, I've never done this before and I'm so young. And I remember I was like so freaked out. But I mean, I'm so glad I did. I mean, I love Warner and I was so lucky that I was like fortunate enough to sign with them. So, I mean, it was a pretty amazing day. Anthony from New York. Why do you think In Love with a Boy fans to your audience so well? I think most of my audience is around the same age as I am. They're like within that age range of like 10 to like 16, 17. And I think like when I was in school, I always say like I'm never trying to be a role model and I'm never trying to tell kids my age what to do because I'm the same age and I'm still learning so much and there's so much that I can learn from. But I think when I wrote In Love with a Boy and when I wrote all the songs on these album, I wasn't trying to be fancy with a ton of different words and trying to like I wasn't trying to like speak to an audience. I think it was really like I was writing for myself and getting my feelings out and I realized later on that a lot of my fans were like feeling the same way and they like understood what I was feeling. And yeah, so like I think In Love with a Boy really speaks to my audience because it's so honest and so true and it's really about being a teenager. I mean, that's like one of the most teenage things ever, having a crush in school. And I think like that my audience can really connect with that and I love that because I love all my fans and they're the reason that I am here and what I'm doing today. So Alexandra from Philadelphia. What was the worst way you've ever dumped someone or been dumped? I've actually never had a boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever. But yeah, I've never had a boyfriend. Yeah, that's like super weird to me. Like I've never had a boyfriend, so I've never really been dumped. I mean, that kind of answers your question. I hope I don't get dumped anytime soon. But I mean, I don't feel like I'd be dumping anyone anytime in the future. Tanya from Reno. If you could collaborate with any rapper right now, who would you choose? I am obsessed with Kendrick Lamar. I mean, his new album is so insane. Like, I love him so much. So it would definitely be Kendrick Lamar or The Weeknd. I mean, Can't Feel My Face. I've probably listened to that 100 times. I'm actually on tour right now with Work Tour. So, I mean, that's all I listen to all the time. So either Kendrick Lamar or The Weeknd. Describe your music using 3 emojis. Okay, I'm going to have to find some because I use emojis every single day. Definitely the little alien face emoji because I think my music is very like different and like kind of weird. So, alien face emoji. Probably. Ooh, this is difficult. The little star emoji just because I feel like it's good. Like sometimes like some of the songs are like good dance songs. And like the little angel face here. I'm trying to show you. Like that little angel face emoji. I don't know why. I just feel like those little combination of emojis kind of explains my music in a weird way. That's like a really weird thing to do with their like little characters like explaining my songs. But yeah, so those 3. What's been your favorite career moment so far? I mean, definitely this tour. I mean, it's been insane. Like I'm on the Vans Warped Tour right now. And like, I can't even explain to you the amazing people I meet every single day. And one of my favorite shows was Chicago because we had about 200 people at our stage. And considering that I'm on, like, a heavy metal, like, rock tour, that was, like, pretty incredible. And, I mean, after the show, I got to talk to almost every single one of them. And it just, like, made my whole day that there were people who actually came to my show. And I think what really made my day is one girl was telling me that, like, she only came to Warped Tour to come and see me. And I think that was kind of one of the most shocking career moments for me because I was like, wow, someone actually drove out to come and listen to my set and hear my songs and meet me. And it kind of was like recognition that like all this stuff that I've been doing and all the songs I've been writing were actually getting to people. So that was definitely one of my favorite career moments. Alessandra from Sao Paulo. Describe your songwriting process to us. When I songwrite, I'm one of those people who has no patience. So if I'm going to write a song, it's going to be like, if I don't like it within the first 10 minutes, I'm like, forget about it. So that's definitely something that I'm always like, if I don't like this song, then I'm going to throw it out. Like, I don't want anything to do with it. But when I write, I feel like I'm writing a song that I really do like. It takes me an hour. Like, I'll never take more than a day to write a whole song. But there are also times when I'll write songs and I'll save them and I won't use them and then I'll come back to them later. I mean, I kind of write songs. It depends on the song I'm writing. Like, I kind of write them in lots of different ways. Sometimes I'll record them on my phone if I have an idea, like, throughout the day and then go home and write it. Sometimes I'll sit down on the piano and finish it in an hour. Sometimes it takes me a while. But, I mean, it definitely all comes naturally. Like, I never am, like, sitting down like, I'm going to write a song right now. It's more like I, like, naturally will go to the piano or I naturally feel like there's a song coming to me. Yeah, so let's do like one more question. 2 more questions, maybe. Jared from El Paso, can you play any instruments? Like I said, I kind of play the piano. I definitely wouldn't play the piano professionally because I'm not that good. But, I mean, I write all my songs on the piano, so I guess you can say piano. But when I was really young, I actually wanted to be a bass player. When I was like 9 or 10, I used to go to like, I used to take little classes, and I was like teach myself the bass. But, I mean, my hands were too small, so it didn't really work out for me. But I'm glad that I decided to choose singing instead. Let's do one more. What would be the first thing you'd buy if you won the lottery? Kylie from Denver. Kylie, I think I would buy a car. Because, I mean, I haven't gotten my license yet, and I'm so bad. Like, I can't even imagine taking my driving test because I can already tell that... I can already tell that I'm gonna fail because I'm so ADD, and I'll probably, like, it's gonna be insane. Like, I get so distracted so easily. So, I mean, if I pass my driving test, I will get a car. I will let you guys know. I probably won't. But, yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you, Romeo, and the Saturday Night Online crew. I'll talk to you guys later.